You know what this means, don't you? We're just gonna have to steal more shit.
So how did you meet this Heather girl anyway?
Well, it was the first day of class up at Community College in Boston. I'm late, not to mention I don't want to be there in the first place. So I pretty much don't even pay attention to the people in the class. But when the class was over, I'm walking out, and that's when Heather walked into my life. I mean, do you know sometimes when you first meet someone, you get that feeling as if you know they're meant to be a part of your life?
Kind of like fate.
Yes, exactly. I mean, when I first saw Heather and our eyes met, I knew she was going to be a part of my life. And the funny thing was that I could see it in her eyes that she knew I was going to be a part of hers.
How could you tell?
I don't know. It was just a look of recognition in her eyes. I mean, I could tell she was just glancing up because I was standing in her way. When our eyes met, I mean, she took a double take. I mean, she was staring a lot longer than she had planned. Now, I don't know how long it lasted, and I know this sounds completely cheesy, like something straight out of a crap movie like Titanic, but man, it was as if time froze for a few seconds. And there was no one left in the world except us. My heart even skipped a beat.
So you shared a moment.
Yes. Yes, we did. A very, very nice moment.
So what did you say to her?
Nothing. You know, she walked back into class and talked to the professor, and I just walked away in a daze with part of my heart missing.
Great. This isn't another story about some girl you fell in love with and then didn't have the nuts to talk to ever again, is it?
No. You see, you forget I'm a writer. I like to pay attention to the details. I like to build the suspense.
Excuse me, can you help me find Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder? I looked in the children's section and didn't see it.
Oh, well, that's because it's in special interest.
Why is that? I thought it was a children's movie.
It is, but we found that more college students were renting it as opposed to families. You see, there's this pothead theory that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory isn't a story about a man looking for someone he can trust to take over his candy factory, but really it's about a drug dealer looking for somebody to run his drug empire.
Are you serious?
Well, there are a few examples that back up this theory, like the fact that Willy Wonka is referred to as the candy man, or, in other words, the drug dealer. And then there's the boat ride scene, which is like an acid trip. You know, and then Willy Wonka says, "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going," you know, which basically, will it be a good or bad acid trip?
That's right.
And then there's the fizzy lifting drink scene. They fill you with gas, and the gas is incredibly lifting, and it lifts you right off the ground. Think about it. Grandpa Joe and Charlie take a hit, and it lifts them right into the air to where Grandpa Joe says, "Look down, Charlie, we're really high now." Weed. Plus there is the chocolate room that has a few mushrooms in it, which I still can't figure out what shrooms have to do with candy, but it does help explain the Oompa Loompas.
You know, I never looked at it that way.
Well, the cool thing about art is that it can be interpreted in any way. Sometimes the artist doesn't even interpret their work the way others do. Who knows if it's intentional or pure coincidence, you know, but it wouldn't be hard to believe, especially in that time period when movies and music were full of reference to drug use, just to stick it to the man. Or, you know, it could be just another one of those off-the-wall stoner theories, you know, like if you watch The Wizard of Oz and listen to Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon, you know, they match up. Personally have my own theory.
Yeah, and what's that?
Potheads have way too much fucking time on their hands.
Now, normally I would sit next to Heather during the next class, but we had assigned seating, which means all I could do was just check her out during class. God, she was beautiful. She was smart and absolutely perfect. She was everything I was looking for, and all I wanted was just to have a conversation with her, just to see if there's any chance between us. But I had no clue on how to meet her.
Yeah, it's a small problem every man has. You know, it's kind of sad that all it takes for two people to really get to know each other and just maybe start a meaningful relationship are a few simple words, you know, to break the ice. But the fear of looking like a jackass pretty much keeps most of us from ever meeting. So, what did you do?
I would walk the hall after class, just hoping to bump into her again, but I never figured out which direction she went.
So you stalked her?
I guess.
It's alright, man. It's okay. Look, whether you're checking out a girl you met in class or asking about some chick you met at a party, face it, stalking is part of dating. Yeah,
actually it is. I never thought about it that way. Anyways, it's a month or so into the semester, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to meet this girl. So I throw in the towel. I just totally give up on her, which is okay, because recently I had met another girl at a party, and everything was going fine until...
Wait, I can't do this.
Why?
I think I might be a lesbian.
Did you come to this conclusion before or after the thought of kissing me crossed your mind? Now, she did say if she was going to be with a guy that she would want it to be with someone like me. Now, I don't know what that says about my masculinity. I thought about it, and I decided not to pursue the lesbian. Because after all, if I could leave me for another woman, I think I would.
Hey, what's that movie that has that line that goes something like, any asshole can raise a child, but you have to have a license to catch a fish?
I'm not sure. Why, are you starting to believe in licensing wannabe parents?
No, I just think a guy should be able to catch a fish from time to time.
Haha.
Actually, society's just kind of bumming me out today. It's like every day that I'm in college, trying to expand my mind to become a better person, the rest of the world is just becoming dumber and more ignorant by the second. The worst part is stupidity and being a loser has become more accepted these days. Nobody wants to better themselves or set higher goals. Everybody just wants to sit around and get drunk, watch MTV, and laugh at stupid-ass Carrot Top jokes.
I blame microwaves.
Really? Why is that? Because people stand too close or something?
No, people are just used to instant relief. If you're hungry, you can cook a meal in a few minutes. If you have a headache, you can take drugs and it'll go away. If your marriage is in trouble, you can get divorced. Our society is all about quick fixes and making excuses. Nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions and blame their stupidity on themselves. They just want to hear that it's not their fault and blame it on a chemical imbalance or a bad upbringing or something. Fuck that. Every family's dysfunctional. If you don't like your station in life, then get off your ass and do something about it. But no, that would take work, and nobody's willing to do that. They just want to sit around and dream about winning the lottery.
That reminds me, I need to buy a lottery ticket today.
Of course, then you have the type like the frat boys and sorority girls on campus who are completely spoiled by their parents, who buy them new cars, give them party money, pay for spring break trips to Cancun. They're used to having everything handed to them in life, so they can't handle life when something minor goes wrong.
What do you mean have a late charge, you dumb son of a bitch?
Well, that's all we can do is pray that after the Third World War, most of us die a horribly painful death due to chemical warfare, that the cockroaches and people that are left with their new third leg and webbed feet get it right now.